Dakota doesn't have pinkies.
I may or may not have thrown a rock at a geese.
We was downstairs listening to a Will Smith CD.
Welcome to Acquired Taste. I am Figure 8, and with me is...
your boy Coda B, a.k.a. Skinny Penis.
And I'm Andrew.
a.k.a. Fat Chungus. What episode is this? We didn't do an episode
I think
last
it's
week.
7, I believe.
Seven.
it's 7.
That means episode 4 just came out.
I could be wrong. Every time I'm like, yeah, I'm confident on this answer, I look back, I'm like, oh, I was off.
We'll dub it in and fix it. No, we won't. Yeah, what is that called? Where you go back after, like, dubbing? You gotta dub.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta fix. That'd be crazy if I was just going through when I do the editing and just replacing any time I stutter with me being completely intelligent and leave you guys looking like idiots.
Just make us say some crazy ass shit.
Yeah, I should just upload all the audio we have so far into an AI and write an episode. Have ChatGPT write an episode.
That would be tight for like
That's what we'll
our
do when we're
100th
on
episode.
vacation weeks.
The AI episodes. That's crazy.
The AI archive.
Yeah. What a weird timeline we're in. How y'all doing?
Recovering.
Just recovering from our secret project.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I just got back from a week in California, so that was cool. But
How was that?
it was good. Saw a Dodgers game, hung out with some family, saw some friends, went to a wedding. So it was chill. It was a nice little break. Spent some time on the beach. It was a good time.
A nice break from being unemployed.
Oh yeah, and this rough unemployed life. I do start my job tomorrow though, so that's exciting.
Hey, congrats. I knew it was coming up. I didn't know it was that close, but that's tight.
Yep, tomorrow.
Now we recorded at night. I'd like to see if when I go back and listen to season 1 when we're done with this season, if our vibes change from
Where?
11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Like, how did this affect our lore?
We got spooky nighttime vibes now.
Yeah, they can't see us, but I feel spookier and nighttime-ier.
Boo.
I was
Fucking
also
loser.
immediately waking up and listening to the album on the previous episodes. Now I've been awake for hours, so who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
It took me 17 years to listen to my album. Alright, let's get this started. In the news, Andrew has our news articles loaded up for the day. What we got going on in the news?
Yeah, so first thing up is fresh album, Logic, Ultra 85. Did either of you guys listen to this?
I
No.
listened to one of the first song I think that he dropped as a single. I don't remember what it's called, but I actually did like it. I was like, this is some older Logic vibes.
You're washed.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, I didn't listen
It's
to the whole
fine.
album.
Yeah,
but-
I gave the album one listen through, and I don't know, like it was.
You're the reason I know who Logic is. There was one kid who said, I watch Call of Duty videos with this rapper in the background. You should check him out. And then you telling me that his Good Kid, Mad City album was great. Those are the...
Yeah, I mean, like mixed when Logic was just doing mixtapes, and then like his first 2 albums, he was good. I liked the music he was making and stuff, and then everything since Everybody has either been just bad or like this is a Logic project, and I felt like this was it was a Logic
I don't want to
project.
be alive.
Yeah, you get what you know.
I don't want to be alive.
You get Logic.
I saw a comment on the the thread of it or whatever, that it was like, if you don't like Logic, this project's not going to make you a fan of his, but if you like some of his work, you'll like some of these songs. And I felt like that kind of just summed it up well, of like, there was songs where I was like, hey, this is cool, good. The production is one thing I will say. The production is really good. The producer he works mostly with, I think his name's like Six or something like that, but he's a really good producer, I think. But anyway, there was songs where I was like, hey, this is kind of good, this is cool. And then songs where I was like, all right, yeah, this is one of those corny Logic songs. And so from that perspective, it was fine. And then it just had a ton of skits, which is something he does on his albums. And it, like one of them was a full song that was like 2.5 minutes long of just like
1 to 2 skits. I'm a firm believer in 1 to 2 skits.
I was talking to another friend about it, and he was like, I love Outkast. I love all their albums. I think, their discography is like very, very high in regards of hip hop. He's like, but I skip the skits every single time. And he's like, that's how I feel about any time I listen to Logic. It's like, just, there's all these skits throughout the album, and it just comes like tedious, I guess, at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely does. I'm also a big proprietor of keeping skits as short as you physically can, so they almost feel like they're a part of the song. I never include them in the song because I want to give the audience a chance to skip it. I don't want to ruin their listening experience, but if I can trick them into not realizing it's not a part of the song, then I do.
It's interesting to hear that, because I feel like me as a listener, I want the skit into the song so that, like, once it gets to that, I can just skip it. Like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but, like, I would prefer it being, like, just built into the end of a song or whatever.
Sure.
All right, I think that's enough Logic talk.
He lives in Oregon now.
Yeah, you can't escape the cornucopia.
Yeah, it just keeps on giving, I guess.
All right.
Second thing up, we have Travis
Biracial.
Scott arrested in Travis Scott arrested in Paris following an altercation with hotel security guard.
I saw that. What?
I didn't even know about this.
I didn't know about this, but apparently there was something similar with Ayesha Curry, Steph Curry's wife, and their children after the gold medal game between USA and France.
I mean, there was also something similar when A$AP Rocky was in Sweden, and there was also something similar when Brittany Griner was in Russia. It's never white Americans.
Yeah. So.
It's for as much as a nuanced and intense topic, police stuff and racial stuff is in the U.S. It's like a lot of people don't have a perspective at all at how much universally worse it is in other countries as well, especially towards Americans. It almost feels vindictive sometimes. This is not that kind of podcast. I don't want anything with nuance. We can't talk about it here. There's taste buds and Coda Baker
and Coda bees.
Yeah, you just can't. But I don't want to ignore the fact that all of these things we could talk about in this realm are. I mean, Tyler the Creator wasn't allowed in England. It's a long list of people, and it's never like Eminem not allowed here.
I was
Matt
literally
Miller
just gonna
not
go. We don't get Logic arrested in Paris
No.
articles very often or ever.
He is biracial.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
Is he? Wait,
Yeah.
him?
What about?
He never brings it up.
Logic became "We Have Joyner Lucas at Home" for me. Yeah, free Travis. Is he out?
I skimmed the article a little bit, and it kind of seemed like he was. Like it said like he was released bond after paying $500 on disorderly intoxication charge and $150 on trespassing charge. So he got hit for $650, and he was good. I feel like
Yeah, he's just a doofus in general. I don't really like Travis Scott.
Yeah, I feel like he's just kind of keeps stepping in it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's a very good. Yeah.
Good way to put it.
When he performed at the Grammys and nobody fucked with his shit, Joe Budden being like, "Fiend, fiend." Nobody wants to hear that with a tuxedo on and their wife, bro. Like
Yeah.
it was. I like a lot of the Travis Scott songs, but what the fuck does he know about Parrot? No. Yeah, I think it's lame arresting rappers in European countries, but
yeah, I feel like it's
Travis
one
Scott.
like we kind of said, it's just one of those things that pops up every once in a while, and it's usually something pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. Like,
yeah, it's like, what did he do again? Motherfuckers do that to police here.
yeah. Anyway, third thing up here is a quote from Andre 3000, where he says, quote, "In early rap battles, you had kids in the park rapping against each other, but it's not just rapping now. You got people with 100 employees. You have livelihoods, empires, companies, deals. All of it can be jeopardized," end quote. So, what do we think
Is
about
that
that?
him just speaking on like the current place of hip hop? Like it's much less risks are being taken due to the amount of mouths that have to be fed to keep an artist relevant right now.
I'm looking through the article right now. I took it kind of in the regards to like, I guess a rap battle, just because he says you got dudes like rapping in the backyard. Like I don't know, that just feels like kind of.
Is it about Kendrick and Drake? Is it about Young Kenny, Kung Fu Kenny, and the 69 God?
The Drizzler.
Oh, the Drizzler. That's
I think-
11 out of 13 Coda B's nickname.
I guess no, he's more so talking just about like the current state of hip hop and how like it's not what he was doing. Like there's much more. I think he's saying like there's much more involved in terms of like rappers have a whole like line of like employees, and then they've got endorsement deals, and they've got this, and they've got all this stuff that they have to do. So then I think he's probably kind of saying that like they're almost putting on an act in the sense of like they're not just doing it for the music. They've got to like have this personality that they're always doing, and it's just probably not what he wants. I think is kind of what.
I feel like almost every time we hear from Andre 3000, it's him talking about how hip-hop is currently not what hip-hop was when he made hip-hop, and that's why he can't make hip-hop.
I feel, well, it's probably because everyone just is like, so are you working on an album? Like, are you going to do an album? Like, I feel like he can't.
Is this the guy who's doing the flutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
then-
feel like he can't escape that.
You used to rap, now you make flutes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he can't hang anymore. It's not the same. I mean, he always be talking like rap is too personal to be doing as an old person. Not that music is too much to be doing as an old person, but rap specifically. Because at some point, if you're still rapping about stuff happening, why are you doing that stuff when you're old? Like, just be old. I'm not gonna. He was like, I got a colonoscopy last week. I don't want to.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I have to talk about. I don't want to put that in a rap song. I used to be able to talk about doing shows or flying around the world or the streets or this or that, and now I go to yoga,
Yeah, and people don't want to hear that, so it makes sense that like...
But you can make a rock album and talk about like existential bullshit.
Yeah, but like you don't want to, like he was saying, like it's their business, it's their, you have this media, these companies. It's like you gotta, if you don't have that persona of like what you were when you built this, people aren't gonna want to hear it now that like what you're actually going through. So like I get what he's saying.
One of my favorite verses ever out of any artist is from Rosa Parks, the Outkast song, where he talks about how you're only funky as your last cut. And he talks about going to buy the collab album between The Far Side and A Tribe Called Quest because they were his favorite groups at the time, and that it was kind of trash, and that bummed him out that instead of stopping, they continued to release things that suck. So, like, it's a whole verse about either getting better every time or hanging it up when you don't think you can do that anymore, because you don't want to tarnish your legacy, especially if it's such an important one. Like their last album they did went diamond, first rap album to win album of the year at the Grammys, not just rap album.
I think it's
of the
still
year.
I think it is still the best-selling rap album of all time.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it
That's
hasn't been
insane.
overtaken yet.
And I mean, Hey Ya, I Like the Way You Move, and Roses alone are billions and billions and billions of sales and streams equivalent, like whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's,
So I get not wanting to tarnish that, but dressing up like a leprechaun and playing the flute isn't not tarnishing it. I just
Yeah.
want to point that out.
yeah.
All right. That's
That's perfect way to end it.
Thanks, Andre. Still one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Still
He's
go.
always gonna be. I
Top-
feel like top 10. And like I feel like
he might be top 3 for me, man. Big
he's-
Boy would show up dressed like a pimp, talking like a pimp, and Andre 3000 would just be in like football gear and a feather hat. Like that's me, bro.
All right. Shall we move on to this here album club?
Are we doing ranking or the club? What comes next?
Oh, ranking. I guess we can do ranking first. Yeah.
All right, let's pull up these Mac Miller albums.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know we were doing Mac Miller.
Will you share your screen, Sandy Shrew? Open up some Mac Millers and get that screen. So every week, for those of you tuning in for the first time, every single week we pick a new artist and we rank the albums. Me and Andrew were spitballing some ideas. We might change this segment up a little bit, make it more diverse. But we always have a ranking section. And right now we're going to rank albums, the top 5 albums of a specific artist, like we have been doing. And this
you
week
guys
is
see
Mac
that?
Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at these Mac Miller albums. Coded, you seem very excited.
I'm excited.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'll go first.
Why'd they do Lil Peep like that? Why is it that picture?
That's not a great picture. I wish you
No.
guys could see this. He looks like an actual demon.
Yeah.
That's the picture I always see of him, I feel like.
When we start uploading to YouTube, that can be the thumbnail for this week. That
Sweet.
picture of Lil Peep.
Yeah, we'll totally do that. Okay.
We'll totally do that.
Let's see. I look like he has a lot of good albums. I don't really fuck with his the quote unquote frat rap stuff, like, but my Mackin' Ain't Easy, that one is just 2007. What a year. I was 4 years old, so hell yeah. But I'm going just my fucking favorites, I guess. Number 1 is Swimming for me personally. Just, I don't even have to say why or give any reasons. It's just, and I feel like the only way to follow that would be Circles as my number 2. Number 3, Good AM. Number 4, watching movies with the sound off. 5, Faces. That's my 5. Take it or leave it. You don't have to like it.
I'm leaving it.
But I love it.
I'm leaving it.
It's fine. Leave it behind.
I'm not taking it with me.
Don't take
This-
it. Abandon it.
I feel like this segment is gonna kind of play into my like explanation of why I have Mac Miller in my top 10. So I want to hear yours first, Fig, and then I'll tell mine, and then why I think it helps that case.
Crazy list, bro. You ready? I got Good AM at my number 1. I got Watching Movies at my number 2. I have The Divine Feminine as my number 3. I have Faces as my number 4. And I have Swimming at my number 5.
I like it. All right, I'll run mine off real quick. I have Good AM
He
number
took it.
1.
Oh, hey, we got the same one.
Yep, same one there. Swimming's gonna be 2, followed by Watching Movies with the sound off in 3, Faces in 4, and then I literally have this written down because I could not decide. It's a tie between Macadelic, Circles, or Divine Feminine for
That is
5. I could not leave one off the list. Is the thing, like it hurt me to do so I couldn't.
That's insane. You had a top 8.
I like Mac Miller, man. And here's my argument for him being in in my top 10 at least, is...
You're white.
Well, hey, look at that.
No,
But-
go on.
Is anytime I see like an article or a Reddit thread or a video or us right now doing it, there's like a big diversity in like the way people rank his albums. And I don't feel like anyone's ever like, no, that's not his best album. Everyone's like, hey, I see it.
Yeah.
And so I think
Yeah.
that ability to like, regardless of what phase it is in his career, to really connect with the listener and like just create that bond. Like, I don't know. I feel like I know Mac Miller, even though I obviously don't know Mac Miller. And just
I
like
would
that,
say from 2011 on, he like a perfect legacy that he didn't get a chance to tarnish in any way. Like it is
like you grew. I feel like a lot of people in my generation, at least, kind of grew up at the same time in the same age group as him. So like, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like he's definitely got a spot on like the pillars of rap history, I feel like.
Totally. I think, yeah, to go off what you're saying too, like he almost, yeah, it does feel like people grew up with him. And also, like, if you look at any like conversation had about him, no one has a bad thing to say about this guy. Like, regardless if they're not fans of his music, everyone is like, he was just the nicest guy, the most, and he really grew into his like artistic style. That's why I put Swimming and Circles at 1 and 2, is because like it's the most out of what people might know him as, like his realm, but it's also like he had the most to show for it like afterwards.
Yeah, all of his work came to a culmination.
Yeah.
With
Mhm.
those two for sure.
I think I've
A good
mentioned this on the
list.
I think I've mentioned this on the podcast in previous episodes, but in college I did a hip hop history course and did a project on Mac Miller. So I feel like that, to just reiterate, I feel like how high of regards I have for him.
What an easy one to do, honestly. I could have just pulled the names out of the hat, and I probably would have been all right with it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be mad at this.
Even lesser known ones like the Live from Space, really good live album. I feel like live albums are kind of hit or miss. It depends on how well they're recorded and stuff. But
Live
that's a
from
really-
Space is great. Yeah.
Live from Space is really great. Even there's like a song with Future on there that's really dope. Like not live, but just a like bonus track on the album.
Delusional Thomas kind of ruined high schooler hip hop for a while.
I remember it like feeling almost like creeped out after the first time listening to it.
It's a weird listen for sure. I like it though. I almost put it on my list, but I like the Divine Feminine too. But I was like, I don't think that deserves to go in the top 5. It's not really like something I go back and listen to, but there's a few standout songs on there.
Me and Sandy used to listen to. I had it on vinyl for some reason.
Yeah, it's dope.
So it's a strange one too.
It's different.
A lot of
It's-
artistic growth.
Yeah, it feels like it was kind of that like him because I feel they still feel hip hoppy, but it was like almost he took a step out. Like he was in the middle portion of a Venn diagram of like hip hop and another
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah.
It leads into swimming really well. I think
Yeah,
that
for
was the one
sure.
right before.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
like you
right.
can tell the direction he was going. But yeah, everyone had a solid list, I think.
Album
and
club time.
One
Oh.
last thing. As of recording this, I think yesterday was I want to say the 10th anniversary of Kids.
Oh, wow.
Kids is, let's see. I think it just came out
Kids Mac Miller. You can't just type in the word kids on Google.
Kids is such a fun album. It's definitely a classic.
August 13, 2010. So the 14-year anniversary, not even 10.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Anyway,
That would go on my list, but I was talking more shit like that musically I like not saying there's some classic songs on Kids.
oh no, there's
but-
some classic songs and just like classic like samples and stuff on that too. That's just a fun like
Yeah, like
project
Knock
to go
Knock
and
is
reminisce
so
on.
good.
Knock Knock's awesome.
Knock Knock might be like one of the. Oh, there's so much good.
I
shit
mean,
on
like
this one.
Kool-Aid and frozen pizza, fucking
Nike's on my feet.
Nike's on my feet is classic. Like,
God, I might have to change. You know what? I'm keeping my list. It doesn't matter.
nothing
Keeping
matters.
my list. This is 6 though. If we were going to 10, this would be 6.
Yeah.
Now it's album club.
Yeah. Now we're into album club.
All right, album club. Who up clubbing their albums?
That's crazy. I don't even. I was unprepared, as the kids say. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I got my list up already.
Coda's going first.
I got Run the Jewels 2. Killer Mike. Is it LP?
Yep. LP.
LP.
El Producto.
El Producto. Hadn't listened to this album. Heard a lot of Killer Mike though.
Had you
Um,
heard Run the Jewels 1?
No.
Man, what a
I
wild
don't
think
starting
so.
spot.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
I dove right in.
I like to.
This album, very high energy, very crazy beats, very lyrical.
LP made all the beats.
The whole thing, the whole thing is very like genre bending, almost like it almost feels like I don't know what genre I would put it in, but it's not just, you can't just call it hip hop. There's like a subgenre that it fits in. It's like
There's an electronic.
yeah,
vibe
the
there,
electronic
like
house type shit. The percussion and the drums on it are really nice. I like that they had Travis Barker on one of the songs.
a house. Yes, random.
That was cool. My favorite songs, All My Life, had a very cool beat and a chill vibe compared to like the rest of the album. Like it was very high energy, and that one was like right in the middle, so it felt like a good break from all the crazy high energy stuff. I liked Crown because
Crown's great.
that one was the first one that actually had like a deeper meaning. They're not just saying like, "Oh, she had my dick in her mouth the entire day." Like that. Like the song right before that is literally like,
Oh, is that the one with Gangster Boo?
she's like, "Yeah, he had my clit in his mouth the entire day." It was just
Yeah,
crazy.
That song's awesome.
To go into like, I sold this woman coke while she was pregnant.
My
and
bad.
my fault. She said she forgives me. I was like, wow, what a crazy back to back. And then Light, Cheat, and Steal. Just
Yeah.
the hook has such cool backing vocals. Yeah, it was a good album. It's not really my type. Like, I wouldn't listen to this album, I don't think, just on my own. But I'm glad I did listen to it for this purpose because I like this. There was a few songs on there that I did enjoy. But like I said, not my favorite like style of very lyrical rapping. I used to really like be into that a lot more. But I'd probably give it, out of 13, I'm going to go ahead and give it 8.
That's a reputable score. I would say the third one is my favorite.
Yeah, Run the Jewels 3 is my favorite too.
Yeah, I hit shuffle and Run the Jewels 2 came up and I was like, oh, I rock with some Run the... That was like Young Ned's introduction. That was one of the first albums I got Young Ned, like hip hop wise, to be like, oh, okay, I get it.
It's fun. It's a fun album. I would definitely listen to that like
I throw it on
at a
road
party.
trips
Yeah,
when
or
I'm
a
trying
road
to
trip.
Stay awake, like the last couple hours, it like keeps my head bobbing. I love Killer Mike.
Yeah, Killer Mike's dope.
All right, Andrew.
Am I up?
Yep.
All right, I had Majorly Independent by La Russell, who I haven't listened to any of his stuff, but that name sounds familiar. So I feel like maybe somewhere along the line I've heard a song, or
His social media shit is insane.
that could be like it. It just, the name sounded familiar. I didn't really know anything about his music going in, but what I will just say is like, holy shit, it is the most Bay Area rap that you could imagine.
Yeah.
And so just off of that, I thought having Too Short on a song is dope. Like, he's obviously a Bay Area legend. Life is Too Short is like a pretty classic hip hop album. So that was really cool just from the start. That song that he was on, it was the intro song, and it was really good. I also really liked the second song, Damn. It just had like the very first bar that was off that song was like, live in a bakery section because I stay by the bread or something like that.
That's
And
crazy.
just like, I don't know, it just had a bunch of like funny, like dope bars like that. Yankin was also a really good song. And then he was on quite a few of the songs, but I'm thinking it's Malachi, something like that. But whoever that was, that I really liked his rap and his flow and stuff like that. But yeah, just overall like a really fun album. I felt it was short, not too long or anything like that, which I feel like Fig's gonna have a complaint section of on his album. And anyway, as far as Coda Bees, I'm gonna give it an 11. Not because it's like the best music I've ever heard or anything like that. Just because it was a short time. I had a good time listening to it. Like it was like from the jump, it was just fun to the last song, just through and fun. It was fun. So I'm gonna go 11 Coda Bees, and then pass this off to Fig to talk about his album.
That was a Dub recommendation.
Yeah, Dub picked
I
that
didn't.
for you.
I didn't pick one today.
Me and Dub actually, like he put me on like a year ago to the Russell, and he does a lot of stuff that we've kind of adopted. Like from a marketing standpoint, I think you'd fuck with him a lot. Like he does pay what you want for all his music. He has a website where you can pay $1 or $1,000 for any of his stuff. And then,
it looks like he puts out quite a bit of music too. Because he
drops like an album a month.
I pulled up the Apple Music thing, and it was like, I think this was his most recent album. But
it is, yeah.
It seemed like he had like a few in 2024, and then just like I kind of kept scrolling, and it was like scrolled for a little bit, and it was like still in just 2022, and so it was like, oh damn, this guy puts out a lot.
And he works with Taupe, who's a big producer from Portland. Like they have 4 or 5 like collab albums entirely produced by Taupe with the Russell on it. And I don't know how allowed I am to talk about it, but me and Swiggle are doing something with Taupe to some extent. So, yeah, I've always fucked with the Russell since I've known of him. Even the songs I didn't like, I like everything he does and everything he says and everything I've learned from his little interview clips he posts. And I mean, he talks about how they upload 2 videos a day, every day of the week to YouTube, and 4 to 5 reels a day on all platforms, and they're all different, and you won't see the same thing for another 2 months. Like, it's super cool to see someone that has a similar style to us that has helped us refine. He also does these backyard shows at his mom's house that are sold out until September of next year, and every month he brings someone. It was crazy. We did a show with Spice One, and then the next month Spice One was doing those songs in LaRussell's backyard to a sold out crowd. Like, it's he's a cool dude. Does a lot of what we do, working with older artists, respecting while making younger music.
Yeah, no, I'll have to check out more of him. Like I said, I think it was like 25 minutes at most. And
just follow him on Instagram. It's a
minutes.
beam of positive energy and Crocs at all times. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I got the Golden Age. I think you said Golden Era, but it's the Golden Age.
I realized that after I sent you the text of what I wanted to have you listen to. But yeah, the Golden Age
by Dizzy Wright. I want to start out by saying I like Dizzy Wright. We've opened up for him 3 times. I've met him like twice. He was super cool dude every time. Man, this was a long fucking album. I looked up to make sure Jay-Z doesn't have an album this long. Eminem doesn't have an album this long. DMX doesn't have. Tupac and Biggie had albums this long. But other than that, not Lil Wayne, no, be 100 something minutes into my life.
That's a feature-length film.
I will say I did not realize that it was this long upon assigning the...
So I cleaned my car today, and it took me 45 minutes or so, and I was like, all right, I'm probably almost done with this album, and I went and looked, and I was about halfway through the album.
That was 4 songs, shit.
So I'll start off by saying this, I don't know what year it came out, but it felt like I was transported to 2011 for the duration of an hour, 77 minutes, 150 minutes. 200 years of listening to this album. It felt like a teleportation back to when Joey Badass, Big Crit, Action Bronson, Yellow Wolf, and all those things existed. It had that kind of lyrical energy from that time. And it was random to see Tory Lanez on a song with Dizzy Wright. I don't know why, but I did like that one a little bit. Logic makes his obligatory appearance going bada real fast. But Dizzy's cool. I would say the thing I like the least is how it would go from one album to another one in its very bloated runtime. Like, I don't know how we went from a song about smoking weed to a song called and about world peace. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I know it's that era. Like, Wiz Khalifa would make a whole album like that and then have one song about mental health just randomly in the middle of it. And you're like, okay. I mean, I don't disagree, but did you have to add another 35 minutes of songs that had nothing to do with the rest of the album? But the parts I liked, I did like, but it was so long. I've never listened to an album that long, maybe ever. This is maybe the longest album I've ever listened to, and I felt it. He made sure I felt it. There was enough time. I will say this too. I listened for an extra 10 minutes because it went into an old J. Cole album, and I didn't notice. So I had to run back to the last song and re-listen to it to grasp the ending and not listen to Born Sinner. But yeah, I'm gonna go with it. It's 7.5 Coda B's out of 13 Coda B's. Maybe 7. Light 7.5.
A light 7.
Even so, after you texted me saying that it was super long, I pulled it up and was looking at the track list and being like, okay, yeah, shit, this does have a lot of like
fluff.
extra songs.
It's like One Piece.
Fluff. Yeah, I
A
feel
lot
like
of filler.
I was thinking about it. This album for me is one, like you kind of said it, with like that Action Bronson, Joey Badass, like that kind of just era. I feel like at the time I really enjoyed a lot of those rappers. So this has
and fuck you for making me listen to Hobson.
Womp womp. But like I feel like there's a decent amount of like good songs on this that if they're like scattered in a playlist or whatever, then it, you enjoy that song for the 2-3 minutes and then move on.
Yeah, again, I don't want to be super cynical to Dizzy Rat. Like, I mean, I certainly wouldn't consider him a friend, but he has been kind to us the 2 times we met him. He has a song with somebody in La Familia. He's been kind enough to let local openers for the 3 shows we've been a part of. I lost my chain at the last Dizzy Wright show we did because I got drunk and threw it into the crowd.
So you didn't lose it, you gave it away.
I mean, I no longer have it and I want it, so I lost possession of it. It was transferred for sure to the person who called.
It sounds like you gave it away.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I gave away my virginity, but I still lost it.
You still lost it.
Little column A, little column B.
A little flex.
I've given money to the fish and I know I lost it.
It's just
It's just gone.
gone.
All right, album club week 7.
We did it.
Yeah.
Next week we'll all assign 2-hour-long Lil B albums.
I think
Oh my God.
next week we should have...
yeah, S&D wants to pick an album for each of us.
Yeah, our producer would like to... He said all of our Kendrick albums were wrong. All of our Drake albums were wrong.
Yeah, and he said y'all need to check with the historians. And you know what? He's one of our weekly listeners, and he's in our group. So shout out to S&D. I know you're gonna listen to this in fucking 3 weeks or whatever, and that means in 4 weeks you'll get to hear us talk about the albums
Yep.
you picked for us.
Right.
Is Fish Song next?
I always forget about the Fish song. I always just think it's straight into general discuss.
You can't generally discuss until the fish.
Yeah, what
have
song
had
did we
enough.
What song did we get?
We had From the P to the D.
From the P to the D, pop gang, fish gang, bitch. From Detroit to Portland.
I think it's sick and disgusting.
We the flyest motherfuckers from the P to the D. Probably the highest, find another from the P to the D. Yeah, I'm good in every hood, like from the P to the D. It's 313 to 503, I guess that we gonna see. We the flyest motherfuckers from the P to the D. Probably the highest, find another from the P to the D. And yeah, I'm good in every hood, like from the P to the D. It's 313 to 503, I guess that we gonna see. I picked her up from Detroit, but she from Berkeley. And she gon' use those words that they gon' hurt me.
Lovely song, fond memories.
He said that like he lost his virginity to that song
I did.
Maybe he did.
while he was recording.
From the
Hey,
P
it's a
to
story.
the D.
From the penis to the dick. All right.
That was another very
All
long
right.
studio session where we were up pretty late. That might have been around the same time me and you were working on our first album together.
I
Is this just
vaguely remember.
Is
What?
this on the Fish Tank album, or is it?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
on
what
the Fish Tank.
I thought it was. I wasn't sure if it was just a single or if it was on one of the tapes.
It's-
It was a single, but we added it to the tape.
yeah, it was a single for the tape. I think it was always intended for.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
album.
Once it
Yeah.
was done, we're like, this is album worthy. It's a good
But we
ass
wanted
song.
to get it out.
I'd say that's one of my, like, if people didn't know who we were and wanted to, like, hear what we do, that's one of the best songs because it has a lot of people. We have people who aren't in our group, but also a lot of people who are, and it's just a banger. No one does bad on it.
That's
There's
okay.
songs where I could say
No.
people do bad.
That's
Not
perfect
that
because
one.
I had a question based off what you just said of how nobody like does bad on it. I feel like it, in terms of like the Fish catalog, I feel like it has kind of that feeling of like a One Train or something like that, like one of the iconic like hip hop ciphers or whatever, and where it's like everybody just kills it. And so the question I wanted to kind of ask you guys on this is, who do you guys think, with I guess without naming yourself, because that kind of feels like cheating. So without naming yourselves, who do you think has the best verse on this song?
Well, it's 5 fish, right? Fig, Coda, Stilo, Mello. Okay, 4 fish. Yeah. And then we have Joe Apollo from Detroit and Anthony Rivera from out here as our guests. I would say, if I can't pick me. No.
Myself.
No, Coda and Stilo, I would have. Mello has a short verse, but Coda and Stilo, I really like both of them. I love how Stilo comes in, and Stilo actually helped us put the song together. He has the connect to Joe Apollo from Detroit, which is wild coincidence, and because we were talking about finding somebody from Detroit to get on it, and he was like, I got a guy, and I'll hop on it too. And yeah, I really P to the D, yeah, we rode a west shot. Like, just the way he jumps in with marbles in his mouth, it's great.
I think my favorite verse on there would probably be Joe Apollo's because I hadn't heard of this guy before. So then I just heard, oh, we're getting a feature from some guy that Stilo knows from Vegas or wherever he's from. I don't know how he has a connection. He might
He's
be
from Detroit.
Oh, he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why he's on it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, never mind. Well, I don't know how they met. Maybe it was
Internet, bro. Internet's crazy.
crazy. Whatever. I think he had the best. His voice is suited very well.
Who did you think, Sandy?
I don't know exactly who it was, but and I don't even. This is great content because I don't really even know what the lyric was. But he has an ad lib after he says something where he's like, "I don't even smoke."
That's Anthony Rivera. He's
Okay,
from out here.
that's what I kind of thought it was.
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if the listing went in order. It kind of seemed to make sense.
I think we try to.
Yeah. But I think that was my favorite. But like I said, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like everybody was on the same like kind of
Yes.
level.
A
And
great
so-
example of what we can do in our unique approach to collaborative work.
Yeah, yeah. And so when I was listening to it, like I had that thought of like a One Train or even like from the same Rocky album, but fucking Problems. Like I feel like that's a song where
I
those
like
verses.
that comparison because it has a catchy hook for such a thick lyrical posse cut. So
That-
like
yeah.
that
That then-
fucking Problems era of music. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of what it is. Just like man, everybody is just like on the same playing field. It felt like, and so felt like that was the kind of question I wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites on the
a good one.
the fish tank period. Sweet.
All right.
All right, we talked about ourselves, our beautiful selves.
Now to talk more about ourselves.
General discussion. I wrote down some questions for this. Question number 1. Andrew, did you listen to our album? It's
I did.
out.
I did. I really enjoyed it. I've only listened to it at one time just because I've been on vacation and haven't really had a chance to have just been busy. But listened to it, give it a good listen. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great little project from you guys.
Yeah, we think it's pretty great too.
We know it's great. Actually, we don't think. Andrew.
We've been teasing it on the podcast for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, go
now.
run it. I like to
Yeah.
think that that's the reason it's all the streams are from the Taste Bud fans themselves.
Yeah, that first day it came out. Yeah, no, it's doing well. It's doing well too. I'm excited about it. It's interesting to see the songs that have been streaming the best. It's like Bark No Bite with the dude from Bad Habitat and Please Be Quiet, My Roommates Are Sleeping.
That's a fun one.
That was a fun song.
And I think Top Down is doing pretty well too. And What If? What If is one of my favorites.
It's a good one. It's we get fast rapping Fig on there.
And I get a hand job while watching The Muppets.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, you do get fast rapping Fig. And
Always got to have one of those out of pocket bars that has people asking themselves, "How do I know this guy?"
Yeah, that's me. I'm dig into my.
Is that the guy who listens to Will Smith?
No, I put it on my gravestone. Yeah, we had a release show for that. Was that a week ago now? 5 days ago?
Fucking, it was forever ago. It feels like.
That was crazy. It went really well.
Yeah, that was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of love day one of the album.
Lots of love.
Andrew, we went and observed real life music things.
We did, yeah.
We saw Biggie's. We went to Mopop, I think it's called. It's such a stupid acronym. I cannot remember.
Yeah, the Museum of Pop Culture up here in Seattle.
And there was as far as hip hop is concerned, there was Biggie's suit, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that
that's
was really
pretty
cool.
epic. Did you sniff it through the glass?
No. I took a picture of it and then I held my hand to it like a boy watching his father leave for the last time.
Is it like in what is it? Fucking
Andrew can't
Space
relate.
Jam when when they suck all the magic out of the basketball,
You
where you're
just
trying to like
die.
absorb
Transfer
Biggie's
the
powers.
power.
Oh fuck, bro! I didn't even know.
Should've
I didn't know I
absorbed
could
it.
transfer power.
Yeah, bro, that's the
Fuck!
first thing you got to learn. It's
No.
that's like lesson 1.
I think that
absorbing
might have
power.
been the only hip hop related thing there. I tried. I fought to find something else.
Wasn't there like a whole studio that you could walk around and like
Yeah.
play with?
Yeah, that
That's
was
kind of
tight.
cool.
Yeah, that was
That
tight.
was pretty cool,
Me
yeah.
me and Andrew went and did the DJ stuff for probably the longest out of all the random shit in there. That was It was dumb, but I liked it. We just kept swiping back and forth and scratching. It's so fucking
Yeah,
stupid, but it's a cool setup. The only other thing I saw in there was they had a wall just talking about stan culture and how it originated from the Eminem lyric, and now it is like in the
Stan,
Oxford
son,
Dictionary.
listen, Dad isn't mad, but how you gonna name yourself after a damn gun and wear a man bun?
You glad you got that out?
Sorry,
That was like a
that was like a
Tourette
tick, bro. I had to
That
get
was
it
great.
out.
I didn't want
couldn't
to stop you, bro. Yeah, it felt like
That was a
it felt
tick.
involuntary.
Eyes open wide, undeniable, plain smoke, fire stove.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Let's move on.
He's got the kill shot itch.
My brain isn't all the way 100% right now.
No, he still has mad milk disease.
I have mad milk disease. I jumped into a pool of milk. No spoilers, but it was pretty tight.
It was
But here's a
spoiled.
spoiled.
It was spoiled.
My brain is now spoiled.
Yeah, our car smells like shit and my nostrils hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
How'd you? Yeah. Don't even wonder how we or why we jumped into a pool of milk. Just know that we did.
Yeah, just know that you'll see it eventually, and we're exhausted about it.
And with that, I think we just pulled off a perfect episode.
That was
Dude,
great, right? How long was
Yeah.
that?
Fucking,
We're at
I don't
45
know.
minutes right now, so I
Oh
feel like
my
It's beautiful.
god, that's
No cuts. We're not editing this one
yeah, we're
at
just,
all.
Yeah, just get rid of the
Live to
intro,
tape.
put the music in, and set it. I still have to edit like 2 other episodes before this one. I'm pretty sure, but at least this one will be easy. I'll add a little bit of P to the D in there because we started that last week, which means in a week I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, we're gonna start fixing stuff. Start doing some post work.
I did want to talk about this. This is episode 4. And to close out, I did share this a little bit with Coda, but I saw something that said 95% of all podcasts distributed widely through Spotify, Apple, and Amazon or whatever don't make it past episode 3. Because everybody wants to start a podcast, but nobody wants to keep doing one. So as this being our episode 4, we have entered 4% of all podcasts, and for every episode after this, it gets a smaller and smaller number.
Well,
so,
our 4 came out today, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
episode 7.
Yeah. Today, episode 4 came out. So today, we made it past into this 4% realm, and just proud of us.
Come on,
Thank-
Spotify, give us a nudge, bro. Give us a little boost. Give us
Hook us up.
something.
But that's what a good reason to keep going. Also, if anybody listening wants to start a podcast, if you go
Actually,
ahead.
don't do it. We don't want any competition.
Yeah, never mind.
Stop
Don't chase
podcasting.
your dreams.
Report
Go-
all
go-
the other
Go
podcasts
rap
on
or
Spotify.
something. go make music. Yeah, those are just the little things that inspire me sometimes. Like 97% of songs on Spotify don't get 1,000 streams, and we have some with 100,000. So it's
No big
nice
deal.
to know that we're doing worse than some, and it's so far worse that it feels shitty. But we're doing better than most that try to do the shit that
Oh,
we
for
do.
surely.
So thank y'all, taste buds. We'll taste you later. This is Fandoa, and Digoda. Codandig.
Is not
This is fantastic.
Keep going.
What is all of our bye taste buds? From,
Andragoda,
and where am I in there?
the Ig.
Andrigoda. I get 2 letters, and you guys get 6.
Yeah.
Bye taste buds. Cue
Later.
the Killing Goose, Pinky, Will Smith music.
I'm an Antelope.
Perfect episode.